Mario Party 6 is incredible. And whenever something's incredible, it gets a sequel. Which is why on November 7th, 2005, Nintendo released Mario Party 6 2, colloquially known as Mario Party 7. Mario Party 7 has 6 boards, 12 playable characters, and 88 mini-games. Joining the roster this time around are Birdo and Drybones. Birdo makes sense. Toadette was added in Mario Party 6, so obviously Yoshi's partner should be included as well. Drybones, well, I don't know. I guess Boo needed an undead partner as well. Also, Koopa Kid is no longer playable. He followed in the footsteps of Donkey Kong and was promoted to hosting his own space. It's bittersweet watching your beloved Mario characters climb the corporate ladder like this. As always, here's the rundown of the boards. Grand Canal, Bostonian Star Hunting Board. This is a really solid standard Mario Party board. It provides a proper amount of junctions and the events present are all pretty cool. Bowser destroying the bridges in order to build his own is an interesting twist that doesn't intrude on the players too much. All around, it's the kind of board you'd be proud to bring home to your parents. Pagoda Peak, Straight Line Static Star Board. The best straight line board the series has seen so far. You need to climb up to the top of the mountain in order to buy a star from the Koopa Master. The price starts at 10 coins and increases by 10 every time someone buys a star, until it gets to 40 where it resets back to 10. Along your climb, you can practice your kung fu, ride bottle rockets, and get sent back to start 2 spaces from the peak. Classic Mario Party right there. Oh, it happened twice in a row? Roll better, asshole. But this board works really well with the orb mechanic, as you keep looping through the same spaces, which results in throwing orbs being much more strategic than on other boards. Pyramid Park, Havsy's unique gimmick. Takes the gimmick from Snowflake Lake and improves upon it. The Chang Chomps on the right half of the board can be ridden at the cost of 10 coins for 1 dice block or 20 coins for 2 dice blocks, while the Chang Chomp on the left half of the board can be ridden at the cost of 10 coins for 3 dice blocks. This board also brings back the sacred Bowser Sphinx from Mario Party 2's Mystery Land. The only thing that prevents this board from being rated higher is the fact that one of the Bowser Time events can just take a star from the player in first place. As I keep repeating throughout this series, stars should not be able to leave play. It's a little better than other boards that involve stars leaving play, as Bowser gives the star to Koopa Kid, who can be crushed with a Chang Chomp to get it back, but the point still stands. Neon Heights, Bostonian unique gimmick. Instead of a singular star space, there are 3 chests with different contents. One has a Bob-omb that sends you back to start, one has 20 coins, and one has a star. Each chest can be opened for 10 coins. An all-around solid board that has 2 major faults. The first is that both the shooting gallery and the pitching machine events can be played at no cost whatsoever by simply passing them, which can cause games to be pretty long. These events should have instead been happening spaces. The second is that Bowser has 2 methods of stealing stars during Bowser Time. He can either put a star in the Bob-omb chest, which causes the player who opens it to lose a star, or he can straight up steal a player's star and put it in the star chest, which results in said chest containing 2 stars. It's a real shame because this board is genuinely very cool, but I can't excuse Bowser stealing stars. Windmillville, Bostonian unique gimmick. Stars in this board are obtained by investing coins in windmills. The player or team with the most coins invested in a windmill at any given time gains as many stars as that windmill is worth, either 1, 2, or 3. These stars can then be lost if another player or team invests more coins in the same windmill. It's an interesting idea for a board, but the alternating flower routes make it deceptively linear. Added to this is the fact that Bowser can destroy windmills, which causes all coins invested in them to be lost, effectively eliminating those stars from play. This all results in a really cool gimmick that is abused by a poor board layout and Bowser being a bully. Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, Circular Star Hunting Board. Definitely the best board in the game. The Bowser Time of this board is the only tolerable Bowser Time in the entire game. When it happens, the island that the star currently resides on sinks into the lava and doesn't emerge until the next Bowser Time. This causes the star to relocate, and any players on the island lose half their coins and go back to start. I like this because it's predictable and provides a sense of urgency to either obtain the star at all costs or get the hell out of Dodge. The canon happening spaces add a level of chaos by randomly firing you to another island. Klepto happening spaces provide even more chaos by changing the location of the star. And the Happy Hopscotch Obstacle Course and Koopa Kid Sumo Wrestling are nice games that make the board more dynamic. Overall, the entire board is a hectic scramble to not be on the island with the star when Bowser Time happens, which is some weird cognitive dissonance when compared to a normal star hunting board. The fact that this board plays so differently, and successfully at that, without fundamentally altering the classic Mario Party formula is genuinely impressive. The boards in Mario Party 7 are, with the exception of Windmillville, all really good. I gave Pyramid Park and Neon Heights a 4 out of 10, not because I hate them, but because I want to punish bad behavior. One thing I find cool about the boards in Mario Party 7 is that 4 of them have happening spaces that can result in the player winning a star. Grand Canal's Coinus Maximus, Pagoda Peaks' Kung Fu Falls, Neon Heights' Memory Game, and Bowser's Enchanted Inferno's Happy Hopscotch Obstacle Course, which is such a mouthful. These make happening spaces more impactful, but they inadvertently devalue stars a bit. If only 1 or 2 boards had these happening spaces, it would have been cool board-specific features, but with all the conventional star-obtaining boards including them, it comes across as a mandatory feature of every board and makes them feel less special. The mini-games in Mario Party 7 are good, like, really good. In fact, only 2 of the 88 minigames make my skin crawl, Cointagious and Balloon Busters, which statistically is really good. Cointagious is, in my opinion, one of the laziest minigames this series has seen so far, alongside Vicious Vending and Mathletes, both from Mario Party 5. Cointagious just has you mashing A and hoping you get more than 8 coins. At least Mathletes had fancy equations, like 2 times 2, and Vicious Vending doesn't hide the fact that it's a filler minigame. Balloon Busters, on the other hand, is like Balloon of Doom from Mario Party 4, except when the balloon pops, everyone but the player who had previously inflated the balloon explodes. So sometimes when you lose, it's literally not your fault. That's always a non-frustrating feature. Other than those 2 ne'er-do-wells, the rest of the catalog is relatively unoffensive. You have some gems like Snow Ride, Fun Run, and Take Me Home, but a lot of them are pretty forgettable, like Herbicidal and Bubble Brawl. And, since I'm sure you're all wondering, there's 2 weird minigames here as well. But unfortunately, neither fit the description of a weird minigame, which appears to be a dead concept. These 2 weird minigames are Ice Moves and Stick and Spin. Ice Moves is an air hockey minigame that can be played either 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. The one-on-one works better. This minigame makes me think of Speed Hockey from Mario Party 2. Stick and Spin is a puzzle game with a 2-player competitive mode. They both play nicely and can be purchased for 3,000 cruise mileage points each at the duty-free shop. Now, Mario Party 7 introduces not 1, not 2, but 4 new types of minigames. You have DK single player, Bowser single player, 4-player Mike, and 8-player minigames. DK single player minigames can reward the lucky player with either 20 coins, 30 coins, or a star if won. Bowser single player minigames, on the other hand, can take either half a player's coins, all their coins, or one of their stars if lost. You already know my thoughts on that last one. These single-player minigames bring back an issue that had not been seen since Mario Party 3. Single-player minigames, by nature, impede on the pacing of a typical Mario Party game, and the fact that these were brought back 4 entries later makes it seem like Hudson Soft isn't learning anything with each subsequent entry. 4-player Mike minigames randomly occur in place of a regular 4-player minigame at the end of a turn. They all, with the exception of Balloon Busters, work fine, but would just work better without the microphone. The main issue with them, however, is just how long they take. Mathemortician is the best and most egregious example of this. Each player takes a turn shooting pink boos. This would be fine except for the fact that each player shoots boos for 20 seconds. Multiply this by 4 players and add in the transitions as each player gets ready to shoot, and the whole minigame takes about 1:45. To put that into perspective, I've been playing a game of Mathemortician in the background throughout this entire segment and it's still not done. 4-player Mike minigames, while a cute novelty, simply aren't needed when 1v3 Mike minigames still exist. The last new type of minigame is the 8-player minigame. These only occur in the new 8-player mode and work pretty well. I don't have any complaints. They take into consideration that each player only uses half a controller and are both simple and intuitive. But on the subject of the new 8-player minigames, let's talk about the co-op in Mario Party 7. There are 2 variants this time around. 2 teams of 2 called Tag Battle and 4 teams of 2 called 4-Team Battle. And how do I put this gently? They suck. This is by far the worst iteration of co-op this series has seen so far. The reason for this is simple. Both teammates roll together. They are each other's ball and chain, forced to be together throughout the entire game. Each teammate rolls a 1 to 5 dice, and every turn they alternate being captain, meaning they're in charge of using orbs and deciding where the team goes. Now this works in 4-team battle as the GameCube doesn't support 8 controllers, but why have this in regular tag battle? The benefit of co-op is that the team can split up and cover more ground. To completely forego this is to be ignorant of why co-op works in the first place. So while this ball and chain gameplay works better in 4-team battle, it still isn't great. The main problem stems from the fact that everyone is sharing a controller. Each teammate rolls their dice block with L or R, but the rest of the UI for navigating the board is the same as in a normal game of Mario Party. This results in the game wanting the controller to be handed to the captain so that they can use an orb, then shared to roll, then be handed back to the team captain so that they can make the rest of the decisions for that turn. It begs the question of why the game doesn't just alternate what teammate rolls. The biggest issue, however, stems from the minigames. Not every minigame played is an 8-player one. Whenever a non-8-player minigame is played at the end of a turn, only the captain plays. This gets really confusing with 2v2, as one half of one team cooperates with one half of another team. And then for DK, Bowser, and Duel minigames, each team decides who's gonna represent them. 4-team battle feels like a novelty more than anything else. A proof of concept that works but feels unfinished. It's close to being a quality mode, but there's a lot of little things that prevent it from truly shining. And the really unfortunate part is that both Tag Battle and 4-Team Battle use the same gameplay. If Tag Battle had been more akin to the Team Max from Mario Party's 4 to 6 and 4-Team Battle was kept the same, then it would have been okay. But having Tag Battle work better winds up making the flaws of 4-Team Battle become more evident. In fact, a lot of the problems with 4-Team Battle could have been remedied if Mario Party 7 supported land play, like Mario Kart Double Dash and Kirby's Air Ride. But there's no point in lamenting what might have been. With that out of the way, we can get onto the extra modes that Mario Party 7 has to offer. Mario Party 7 single-player mode, Solo Cruise, is without a doubt the best in the series so far. You play through all 6 Party Cruise boards, one-on-one, against either the computer or another human. The boards come with a different set of rules, however. Instead of trying to obtain as many stars as possible in a given amount of turns, there are concrete goals to accomplish that make matches pretty quick. In Grand Canal, the first player to obtain 2 stars wins. In Pagoda Peak, the first player to reach the Koopa Master at the top of the mountain with 100 coins wins. In Pyramid Park, the player who retrieves the stolen star and gives it back to the Holy Bowser Sphinx wins. In Neon Heights, the first player to obtain 3 stars wins. In Windmillville, the first player to repair 3 windmills wins. And in Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, the first player to beat Bowser's Lovely Lift wins. This can only be played if you go to the center of the board while at least 1 star is in your possession. The matches here are fast, as minigames only occur when either Duel, DK, or Bowser spaces are landed on. The game also tracks how many turns it took to beat each board, which provides actual replayability. It just works so well because it doesn't make you play 6 matches of a half-baked game mode, provides a different experience than standard Mario Party matches, doesn't have the infuriating repetition of bankrupting Koopa Kids, and doesn't make you lose because you didn't land on one specific space. It's really a lot of fun. Also, the ending to Solo Cruise is literally just the ending to Super Mario Sunshine. The resemblance is uncanny. Anyway, the reward for completing this mode is unlocking the final board, Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, which is pretty much the standard reward for beating a Mario Party single-player mode. Now we get into Minigame Cruise, which has a handful of modes to get more fun out of your favorite minigames. Free Play Sub is a handy way to play every minigame you have unlocked except for 8-player minigames. Volcano Peril is a competition to see who can win either 3, 5, or 7 minigames first, and like its forefathers, it works pretty well. Waterfall Battle is a contest to see who can be the first to win 3 duel minigames in a row. You need to beat each of the other 3 players consecutively. If you lose, you fall off the waterfall and only climb back up if the player who beat you loses. It's confusing and could literally go on forever. As much as I dunked on Minigame Tournament and Mount Duel, I honestly prefer those game modes to this one. At least those were short and simple. Pearl Hunt is a race to find the 3 pearls with your character's face on them before anyone else. Every time you win a minigame, you get to open a clam. If it contains a pearl with your face on it, congrats! If it contains a pearl with another character's face on it, the clam closes, but your opponent can use that information to their advantage. There are also mushrooms in some clams, which allow you to open an additional clam, and super mushrooms, which allow you to open 2 additional clams. If you open a Bob-omb, all the surrounding clams open for a couple seconds, and if you open a whirlpool, the placement of the clam shuffles. It's an alright minigame mode, but it can drag on. Decathlon Castle has you playing either 5 or 10 minigames in a row to gain as many points as possible. The 10 minigames, which are played in a random order, are Track and Yield, Fun Run, Snow Ride, Target Tag, Pokey Pummel, Take Me Home, Cartwheel, Helipopper, Monty's Revenge, and Air Farce. It's a fine mode, not much more to say than that. Finally, King of the River is a single-player mode that can be purchased for 2,000 cruise mileage points at the duty-free shop. The object is to beat a certain amount of minigames in a row. There are 3 difficulties: Easy, Normal, and Hard. Easy has 10 minigames you need to beat in a row, Normal has 20, and Hard has 30. You have 3 lives to finish each difficulty with. Every time you lose a minigame, you lose a life. After every 5 minigames, Toadsworth gives you a life if you've lost any, and you're given the chance to save. Beating King of the River on Easy grants you the Miracle Treasure Chest, beating it on Normal gives you the Magic Lamp, and beating it on Hard gives you the Power Star Statue. This mode has a lot of parallels between Minigame Island and Minigame Coaster, character from Mario Parties 1 and 2 respectively. Compared to those two, however, King of the River improves on one crucial element. If you lose a minigame, you don't have to keep playing it over and over again until you beat it. You simply move on to the next minigame. This is a welcome improvement, as my least favorite part of the aforementioned modes was getting stuck on one minigame and throwing myself at it over and over and over again. Then we have Deluxe Cruise, which contains 8-player free play and 8-player ice battle. 8-player free play is where you can play the 8-player minigames to your heart's content. 8-player ice battle is a competition to be the first to win either 3 or 5 minigames. There are 3 variants for this mode, however: 8-player battle royale, 8-player team battle, or 8-player combined battles. 8-player battle royale sees everyone against everyone else and only individual minigames are played. 8-player team battle and 8-player combined battles see 4 teams pitted against each other. The former only has team minigames, while the latter has both team and individual minigames. Deluxe Cruise incorporates the 8-player mechanic much better than 4-team battle. Now it's time for pro and cons. And no, I did not misspeak. Pro: Toadsworth. I find Toadsworth to be one of the best hosts the series has seen so far. Toad was good and brought us Toad Boat, Tumbo was cool, the varied hosts of Mario Party 4 were neat, Outstar was a little forgettable, and Twilight and Brighton were excellent, but Toadsworth is a familiar, friendly face fond of fun formulas, such as "that DK is a fine bloke" and "easy as crumpets." He says a bunch of old British things and just makes for a phenomenal host. Con: Bowser time. Let's start the negativity with what I think is the worst aspect of Mario Party 7. Every 5th turn, Bowser swings by to fuck things up. What he does depends on the board, but it's always obnoxious. He can take a photo that costs 10 or 20 coins, take over an orb shop where the first unlucky sap to visit is forced to buy a Golden Bowser statue or Koopa Kit orb, build bridges, burn bridges, go for a walk, steal a star, steal coins, destroy a windmill. Bowser time messes up the pacing of games. It's a chaotic force, but one that's predictable. You know that every 5th turn shit's gonna go down. It's not fun, there's no strategy to it, and you can't turn it off. To me, there are 2 ways to fix Bowser time in its current state. Either have an option to turn it off, like with bonus stars, or have the Bowser time events not occur on schedule, but instead when a Bowser space is landed on. The chaotic events of Bowser time shouldn't be predictable, and in its current form it just feels like Bowser's crashing the party in the least cool way possible. Con: Random bonus stars. Mario Party 7 throws out the predictability that bonus stars had in every prior entry and replaces it with randomly selected bonus stars. There are 6 possible bonus stars, of which 3 are chosen for every game. There's the classic minigame and happening stars, the orb star from Mario Party 6, and the new running, shopping, and red stars. The running star is awarded to the player who moved the most spaces throughout the game. The shopping star goes to whoever spent the most coins at shops, and the red star goes to the poor sap who landed on the most red spaces. These are all perfectly valid bonus stars that reward vastly different aspects of Mario Party. My issue stems from the fact that all bonus stars are randomly chosen. Your options for bonus stars are to either have them or to not have them. I just wish there was some way to select the bonus stars you wanted to use. I think that would add an incredible level of customization and provide unique player-made experiences. To me, bonus stars always brought a level of metagaming to Mario Party. You could knowingly work your way towards obtaining more stars at the end of the game. But in Mario Party 7, that metagaming is all but gone, unless you want to work towards all 6 bonus stars. Con: Slot of Stupendousness. The duel mechanic got completely overhauled in Mario Party 7. You no longer put up stakes before playing the duel minigame. Instead, the winner of the duel gets to hit the Slot of Stupendousness. Whatever the block lands on is taken from the loser. This can range from 10 coins all the way up to 2 stars. However, the Slot of Stupendousness can also land on an X, which means you get nothing despite having won the duel, making the last minute or so have been a complete waste of time. Dueling has always been the most skill-intensive part of Mario Party. You get to put up as many coins as you want, maybe even a star, in the hopes that you can beat your opponent and claim your winnings. Yeah, there's always the chance you get end of the line, get a rope, or pitfall, but that's Mario Party for you. Regardless, to take out pretty much all the skill in duels and have the rewards be random is ridiculous. It makes duels more akin to chance time with the added step of playing a minigame first. Speaking of chance time... Con: No chance time. To me, chance time and duels are 2 sides of the same coin. Duels represent pure skill, excluding the luck-based duel minigames, where you can brute force yourself into a lot of coins or even a star. Even if things haven't been going your way, you can still make up lost ground by winning a duel. Chance time, on the other hand, is utter luck. Coins and stars change hands based on nothing more than God's will. It's the defining aspect of Mario Party. You could be the worst player and still win because you got lucky during chance time. To remove chance time from the game altogether is to remove a vital element of Mario Party. No chance time means that more emphasis is placed on skill, but with the changes to the dueling system, that skill isn't as heavily rewarded as it once was. It's an interesting conundrum that Mario Party 7 strums up for some reason. Con. Character-specific orbs. Mario Party 7 has a tier list, but not for some dumb side mode like in Mario Party 3. No, Mario Party 7 has a tier list for normal gameplay. Each character has their own special orb that they only share with their partner. The partners being Mario and Luigi, Peach and Daisy, Toad and Toadette, Yoshi and Birdo, Wario and Waluigi, and Boo and Drybones. Here's my tier list for Mario Party 7, based on a standard 20-turn game. The tier list in Mario Party 3's dual mode I can look past, it's a shitty side mode, but standard Mario Party shouldn't have a tier list. Mario Party is all about playing whatever character you like the most, so to be punished for playing Yoshi or Waluigi while being rewarded for playing Toadette or Drybones is really antithetical to what Mario Party fundamentally is. Con. Mic spaces. These are weird. If you land on one, Toadsworth gives you the option to bet up to 99 coins in an attempt to double your wager by playing a fruit memory game that needs the GameCube microphone for some reason. It's a strange inclusion that reminds me of Game Guy spaces from Mario Party 3. There are two issues with these spaces though. If the mic is turned off and you land on the space, Toadsworth tells you to turn on the mic and leaves. Nothing happens. And there's only one game for the mic space, memorizing fruit cards. At least Game Guy had 4 games for you to play. The mic spaces are a weird way to try and make the mic more relevant that just barely misses the mark. Con. 4-player mic minigames. I already spoke my piece on these, but combined with the mic spaces, it seems like Mario Party 7 desperately tried to make the GameCube microphone more than just a novelty. But its inclusion is even more half-baked than in Mario Party 6. At least in that game, there were cool extra modes that used the mic, Speak Up and Star Sprint. In Mario Party 7, the mic is relegated to obnoxious 4-player minigames, a stupid board space, and admittedly adequate 1v3 minigames. The whole situation just feels funny. Con. Bowser and DK single-player minigames. Single-player minigames are a plague upon the series and must be eradicated. Con. No more cute team names. Adding to the list of issues with the co-op modes in Mario Party 7, there are no longer names for every possible character pairing. Instead, teams 1 to 4 are called Dolphin, Seagull, Tuna, and Mollusk respectively. Removing these names is honestly just really lazy, and Hudson Soft only needed to make 21 more team names. Con. Bowser spaces are a shell of what they once were. Every time a Bowser space is landed on, a minigame is played. There just isn't any variety to the spaces anymore. Landing on Bowser spaces used to result in a ton of different outcomes. Also, fella used to say, doom 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 doom, which is some real king shit. Granted, the Koopa Kid spaces sort of take the role of old school Bowser spaces, but they can be removed by throwing an orb on them or by the effects of the egg orb, and just don't carry the same weight that Bowser spaces used to. Mario Party 7 ushers in the postmodern duology. While the classic trilogy answered the question, what is Mario Party, and the modern trilogy answered the question, how do we perfect Mario Party, the postmodern duology is identified by its attempt to answer the question, where do we go now? Mario Party 6 did such a tremendous job improving the Mario Party formula that there really isn't that much more to say. And so in Mario Party 7, we start seeing new alterations to the classic formula. But unfortunately, these new alterations are more akin to perversions and bastardizations than they are to improvements. Bowser time, character tier lists, no chance time, they all spit in the face of what Mario Party is, or at least what it should be. To draw from BoJack Horseman, Mario Party 7 is a Xerox of Mario Party. It takes so much inspiration from Mario Party 6, which in turn was copying Mario Party 5, that Mario Party 7 simply can't exist on its own. Its existence is so heavily dependent on its relation to Mario Party 6 that the end result feels like what you'd get from putting Mario Party through Google Translate 30 times. Mario Party 7 sits comfortably between Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 5. It is painfully average. It's somehow the most and least Mario Party game. Mechanically, it works like Mario Party should, and pretty well at that. But the heart of a Mario Party game is just missing. There are no salvaged aspects in Mario Party 7. There is nothing new that the game does well. Every addition here is a step backwards in one way or another. There are, however, 3 salvaged minigames. Cardinal Rule, Spider Stomp, and Battery Ram. Cardinal Rule is a really neat idea for a minigame, Spider Stomp is the most mechanically foreign minigame I've played so far, and Battery Ram is a great exercise in teamwork. Next time we'll be looking at Mario Party 8, the last mainline title developed by Hudson Soft and the first to have motion controls. Thank God. And as always, here's the compiled list of salvaged aspects and minigames. Take care.